What is this? It's absorbing my sand.
What is this power? Could it be? Mangekyo Sharingan.
In the new chapter, we were finally shown the power of Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan. So, let's analyze what this power is and how it works. I hope you liked the animation. Enjoy watching. At the moment when Sarada faced danger due to the Ten Tails Shinju, who controlled metallic sand and took control of Mitsuki and the other shinobi from the sand village, Uchiha finally demonstrated her new technique. However, neither its name nor its full capabilities were fully revealed to us. All we know is that there is some point in space into which Rue's metallic sand is absorbed. Many have compared this to Obito's technique, but visually it doesn't look like it. Only if we compare the rotational absorption of the sand. Obito's technique works differently, in a targeted manner. Only what he looks at will be absorbed. He needs to maintain visual contact with the target he intends to transport to his dimension. Also, Obito, thanks to Sakura, used a spatial window, if it can be called that. After he regained his second eye, and with the help of Sakura's chakra and Byakugo, he was able to track Kaguya's portals to find Sasuke, and at that moment, a portal opened through which another world was visible. But during this time, nothing was being absorbed, since Obito can only absorb something when he is looking at his target. The rotational transportation ability was also possessed by Kinshiki. When Kinshiki was first shown to us, he appeared using a technique similar to Obito's. There was also a character I call Plankton, because he looks like the character from SpongeBob. However, this was part of Shin, who had the ability to open a spatial technique using an ordinary Sharingan, and this technique already had the ability to suck someone into itself. Although it functioned more as a spatial transportation ability, Sarada's technique apparently only absorbs what she wants. Moreover, she did not maintain visual contact with the absorption point. But one fact remains: the portal, if it can be called that, only absorbs what Sarada wants. Or does it? The girl absorbed iron sand, which has its own magnetic force. In the anime Naruto, we have already seen a technique that has the ability to absorb everything around it without absorbing people themselves, and that is Chibaku Tensei. And this is exactly what Sarada's technique resembles, a black dot attracting a magnetic element. Pain also created such a sphere in his hand when he pulled Kakashi in. Because of this similarity, I lean towards the idea that Sarada's technique is closer to Chibaku Tensei than to a space-time technique. However, there is one but. Chibaku does not absorb into a separate dimension. It pulls in and unites everything around itself, whereas Sarada's technique absorbs, judging by what was shown. So here we see a mix of Chibaku Tensei and space-time ninjutsu, and if we combine these two techniques, then what we get is a black hole, a space that can absorb specific particles. And since Sarada is the wielder of this technique, she must determine exactly what will be absorbed, meaning the size of the object, its quantity, and so on. If this is truly a new ability based on black holes, then Sarada has acquired an incredibly unique power, because now she can absorb any technique. Another question arises: how long can Sarada maintain this unknown sphere, or portal, whatever the correct term is? Because apparently, this ability should require enormous chakra expenditures and put strain on her eyes. And if we recall that Sasuke literally went blind in a matter of days from using his Mangekyo Sharingan, then Sarada needs to restrain her urge to use this technique. I am more inclined to believe that this is not just a spatial technique similar to Obito's, Plankton's, or Kinshiki's. I want to believe that it is either a combination of Chibaku Tensei and a spatial technique or a black hole. In my opinion, these two options are essentially the same. Unfortunately, this is the only technique that has been demonstrated to us in the new chapter so far, but I am sure that Sarada will show us something else. 100% she will have Susanoo. We just need to wait for it. Perhaps we will see some kind of powerful genjutsu. For example, one that allows her to dispel even the omnipotence technique on certain people. That would make sense. Additionally, my friend says this technique reminds him of Amaterasu, which has taken on a round shape and attracts particles to itself in order to burn them. But I still lean more towards the idea that this is a new powerful technique. In the end, though, it may turn out to be just an ordinary spatial technique. Even Sarada's eye pattern reminds us of a star, and a star is gravity, and ultimately under its own pressure it can form something new. So all that remains is to wait for the next chapter, where we will most likely be given both the name of this technique and an explanation of its abilities. I'll be waiting for you in the comments to read your theories. I hope for your like and subscription. Good luck to everyone.